Walcha Veterinary Supplies sells a vast range of agricultural products including animal health products, spraying equipment, seed, fertiliser, shearing supplies, stock feeds, fencing products and clothing. The massive warehouse even includes a conference room for up to 80 people. This business is linked to the rural sector it supplies and has endured the tough times with it. Managing Director Peter King explained how dark times impacted on his business and its commercial catchment.
Our core business is animal health, and that's the hub of the business. And then with that, we keep the animals in. We then sell pasture seed as well, and then we fertilise the pastures. And so we have a broad range of everything to do with agriculture here, but our core business is basically the animal and animal health. The business has grown fairly dramatically in the last probably 10 years, but before that it's been a very good business started by my father, who used to just sell small amounts of vaccines and animal health, mainly drench out the back door of his pharmacy, and it grew from there. And then we've built these premises here in year 2001. And that has basically helped us expand a lot rapidly than our current growth was in the last 20 years.
Mr. King described how bad the drought got in the Walcha district.
The drought here in Walcha seemed to start a lot earlier than it did in other areas of the New England. So by the time we did do our 2.5 years before it actually broke, most farmers were rethinking, what have I done here if they kept stock? A lot had unloaded, and we were probably down to core levels of stock, with a reduction of around about, depending on the farm, around that 60-70% of animals were sold off. It basically annihilated people's bank accounts, and even in a lot of cases just their equity, because they were borrowing money to feed their stock. So things were as desperate as you can get. This drought was totally different to what anyone had ever seen. The psychological, the whole that gut feeling of we're in trouble here was definitely right through every part of the town and district.
Drought recovery was much better than expected, especially since agribusiness benefited from the COVID-19 pandemic.
So then it rained, which was basically in 2020 in January. We got a little bit, and then it started to keep raining. I was predicting and saying, and verbally saying, that this is going to take at least 2 to 3 years for farmers to have any recovery financially to get out of the hole they were put in. And so because of the animal numbers were so short, and cattle numbers and sheep didn't matter, any females, they escalated in price very quickly, far quicker than anyone had predicted. So as that kept moving on, and the seasons and the rain kept falling, the prices just kept on going up. I've been here doing this for 40 years. I've never seen the three come together, where sheep prices, cattle prices, and 2 good seasons have married up. So for me, it's about a 1 in 40 year as far as business goes. Anyone who fed through that November, December, January before it rained wanted a bravery medal in every shape or form, I can tell you. Their stock rose, they basically doubled within 6 months. Agriculture came through COVID better than any other industry that I can think of or know. Everyone accepted the higher prices coming off the drought, and more people were cooking at home. So it was a win-win-win for agriculture all the way through. For our business, it helped. We became a bit like the Bunnings of thing. People said, well, while we're at home, we'll fix this fence, we'll do this. and they also had some cash from the value of the livestock.
The financial effect of the disastrous drought on Walcha veterinary supplies was due to more than farmers not being in a position to spend money.
Turnover-wise, we were down about 45% on what we would normally sell, and that can be a falsified figure in the fact that you're actually down further than that in sales. The biggest issue we have, we sell drench. We look after the animal. Well, once there's a drought on, there's basically worms are minimal. And then you've got stock numbers that have dropped 70%.
Retaining staff, regardless of how quiet business got, was vital to the resilience of the business.
So if you call businesses animal health, well, you have very little issues, and you've got very little stock. So you basically got to stick to your guns. Without being rude, my staff, my team, they're my cows, they're my golden cows, so we can't sell the golden cow, we just got to suffer it and keep feeding the cow as such. So we just got to, you find the money and you pay your staff, and for those obvious reasons, once things turn around again, you need the people, and so it is very important to us, our staff, that we look after them. Because we kept our staff, we didn't have those issues. So things are slack. You've got people sort of standing around pretending they're doing something, and we all know they're not. But at the end of the day, when the turnaround comes, you're there. It is hard to manage, but at the end of the day, it sort of like everything starts to fall into place.
The Walcha Shire was hit hard by bushfires. Walcha Veterinary Supplies experienced increased business as farmers worked to restore fence lines and pastures. The availability of those supplies was vital for the sector's recovery in Walcha. With over $4.5 million worth of stock, the business has addressed supply chain issues by bulk buying well in advance of seasonal demand. The strategy comes with risk, but is necessary, given supply issues associated with regional Australia's recovery from drought, bushfires and COVID-19.
Everyone's is short-staffed and short of supply and all the rest of it, so we're spending millions of dollars or committing to $1 million of product, so we have it here. We try, especially at the minute, is to keep well in front of supply. We've had to increase our stock holding by about $1.2 million, and that's just because to make sure that we've got the stock here ready to go because of the shortages that have been all right through every industry. It is a calculated risk, but it has come off because we have committed to enormous amounts of stock, and some we haven't sold and some we've got rid of. So I'm overstocked in a lot of things, but eventually it will go.
This is a Bushfire Community Recovery and Resilience Fund project, funded through the Joint Commonwealth State Disaster Recovery Funding Arrangements.